Hello,
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
how are you?
Well, thank you. I'm Flaminia Cardini. I'm come from Rome, and I'm the co-director of the short film "If I Can Eat an Idea." And my co-director is Simone Pierini.
Ciao.
My experience in this field began 10 years ago when I became the president of a film company called L'Altra Vista. And in this situation, I was author of documentaries and sometimes co-director and also producer. And now we are working with Simone to this short film, and we have other projects together.
Okay, my name is Simone Pierini. I worked with the Flaminia together as co-director, and even I've been shooting as director of photography. And I was actually a one-man band. I was by myself. We decided to be very small as possible, which makes it one. And that was one of the secret to get what we got. Maybe we can talk about it later. And I started working with filming while I was in the 90s studying architecture, and we occupied the university. There was a movement, and I started shooting, and I found out that I was really feeling happy doing it, so I took that path.
So I'm curious, what inspired you to make this film?
I got inspired to make If I Can Eat an Idea by the protagonist's capacity to having seen beauty in abandoned place. Aldo is the protagonist of the story, and he puts his food truck in this forgotten side of the small city of Bosa in Sardinia island, and he transformed it. Before making the film, during my experience as a costumer, I saw a different place, poetic, inclusive, open. People are nestled in a magical atmosphere. They are not just there to eat, but rather than to share with friends near the river in the nature and watching the old city of Bosa and the castle on the top of the hill. Aldo is the protagonist of the film. He is a curious man who does a curious job. And when he reveals the origin, I saw what was behind that man. I got inspired. And what is behind the protagonist was his conflict between art and food, between becoming an artist or a chef. And not a restaurant chef, but a food truck chef for every budget. And the choice to follow his vocation as a chef, in a sense, includes his vocation as an artist. You can see the Alduccio's food truck. It's a 70s model food truck, and in the area where we can eat, there is vintage tables and chairs, the cabinet with the old gramophone and LPs, and also the shirts of various colors that where the staff have an artistic vision. So this is what I have to say. I was inspired to make this film by the protagonist's choice to create an alternative place. He wanted to remove the barriers between himself and the customers and show himself in plein air while cooking.
See, no, I was at first inspired by Flaminia because she has this very beautiful house in old tannery on the river, because the river that is in the village is the only navigable river in Sardinia, and these old tanneries are in front of the river, and just next to these tanneries, where I was very lucky to be guested many times by Flaminia and Sandro, are just next to this place, these riverbanks. They are not with constructions. There is no concrete on it. It was just, there were some olive trees, and you had to walk through it to get the bridge to go on the other side of the village. And once I talked with Flaminia, and she told me there is a very nice place that just opened up in nearby the olives on the riverbanks, and you should see it because it has a magical atmosphere. So when I went there at first, I was just there to eat in this place and spend some times there. And we are lucky because with our job, we can become curious and have time to discover things. So I spent time there, and we decided together to shoot this little thing, this documentary about the place, because we wanted to share the good vibes we felt while we were there. And it was really special. And I think that one word that it's the key word for the of all the project to me, it's maybe the word slow. There are many things that are related with slow, and it's nice even because in a way, obviously, when I think of slow and food, it's the opposite of fast food. And fast food, it's something that it's not so, it's too fast, too furious in a way, I would say. Instead, there we were too slow, too happy. And that is because there was the river slowly going down to the sea. You had this very comfortable chair to sit and read a book. There was music going on, both with the LP player and then even some live music every now and then. And there was people laughing, chatting. Somebody was just maybe drawing and then eating, of course, and spending time with other people. But it was really a place where you could relax. You were not in a hurry to order food, because what happens often in places in Italy where you go for eating is that they are kind of pushy. You have to consume. You have to get something. When you finish, they're coming to you and they're asking, would you like something more? It's a matter of spending money. I can understand that it's business, so that's part of it. But I really love the fact that when we were spending time by Alduccio, you could just sit there, relax, and even if you were not getting something from them, they would not come and push you. It was up to you. It was kind of a free place, very beautiful, with the nature, the olive trees, the river. And so, well, we wanted to tell this story because it's another possible way, both of cooking food, making business in a way, because they were making out their living of it. So, and we try to tell this story.
It's so interesting that you both mentioned the magic of the atmosphere, because that's exactly what I was thinking when watching it. You're right. There is no like pressure. You're not overwhelmed with the sense that there is a business and you have to buy something, you have to eat. It really is kind of a beautiful cultural moment that is, and the food is the catalyst for this. It's the spark for it, and this beautiful, very human moment happens. It reminded me of being by the Seine River in Paris or something, where everybody kind of comes and they dance and they bring their food, and it really was beautiful. And what a beautiful way to kind of bring people back to an area in that way, opposed to just just a more business oriented way. This is more for the people, by the people, almost. That's how it feels. So my next question is, what was your biggest challenge while making this film?
The challenge and also the beauty was to shoot with people that not used to stay in front of the camera, and even more to express ideas, tales, experience. So my challenge was to approach that reality, respecting their time, their deadlines, and to be not so bulky and suppressing. At the same time, to be able to capture and to show the atmosphere. Simone, would you like to add something?
Yes, please. I think that the most important was to be able to in a way show the atmosphere that was so special. Not we had to be very kind of invisible in a way, because we didn't want to be so in front of the camera that people would maybe feel shy and start acting in a certain way. And we didn't want, as in a recipe, we didn't want to make mistakes on the amount of things that we were putting in the documentary, because it was something about food, it was something about art, it was something about the people and the atmosphere all together. So we didn't want to make it like he's cooking the best sandwich with fish in Sardinia, or is only the story of this guy that came from London back to his island to make a food truck. It was really something that you were taking part of. You felt that it was your place after a while. That was what was difficult to try to pick up and give back.
So did either of you have experience with this subject matter, either with that area or with food in general?
Okay, no, actually I never did something on a food truck or on food. I mean, obviously we work with, in every movie or documentary there can be a moment where people is eating and people or maybe is cooking. So I remember movies that I did in which there were scenes with that, but not a documentary about it. And the nice thing was that we started without it was made for passion. There was no like a TV buying us the project. We didn't start saying, let's try to sell the project to this or to that. We just wanted to tell this story. So we were very free. And yeah.
And we hope it could be the first of a TV series. This is our project.
We thought while doing it that it could become something.
On festival we are invited, and this is a good element for us. We hope
that I would love to watch that series. That would be amazing.
No, because there are some series that are like on some TV channel that are making like food trucks, but they are the opposite of what I was telling you before. They are not slow. They are always fast. They
exactly.
Like even in editing, the cuts are very fast. It, ta, 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 and then we make this and we cook this and it's very good. It's tasty. We go here, we go there, and people eat happy. No, that's not what we want to tell. We want to tell story of food trucks. We would like to tell the story of other food trucks. They are making things differently, and they are enjoying the time of cooking, of eating in nice places. So it's more of an experience than just the thing.
Yeah, so no flashy editing, but focusing on the impact this food truck has on the people in the community that it's set in, which actually that goes into my next question. What impact were you hoping to have with this film, or what impact have you already had?
in my opinion, The experience of food trucks is a kind of mirror of our time, and it tells the precariousness of work in our country, and probably not only in our country. So my interest was in people that have something to give up their aspiration, but this experience of food trucks could be an opportunity that we all have to reinvent ourselves. This is my idea. And in Italy, as you may know, the food is very important. It's a kind of magnet. And while we are eating, we talk about food. So the food is really a very important thing. But here we talk about a different way to consume food. This is interesting thing, in my opinion. And Aldo is, in a sense, an ambassador of local food culture. But he reinvents old recipes. He puts his creativity day by day. And so this is a really interesting thing. In the film, there is also a suggestion of cooking food as a form of love. And I hope that one of these chords will touch the audience.
I do agree with Flaminia that we wanted to show that you can, in a way, a different experience with food, and food can be something very deep, very important. And as I told you before, even there, it was something related with going slowly. I think that, like, Western people usually is giving food for granted because we are very lucky, we don't have problems with it, but we forgot to honor food by devoting time to it. As I told you before, we are a lot into the fast food culture. You are in a hurry, you have a short break from your work, you go, you eat a sandwich, and you run back working. I do understand that sometimes that's necessary, but it's wrong. Shouldn't be like that. Should be a special moment, and can be a special moment. And I do think that, especially in these times, showing that slowing down, it's giving you the chance to live better and appreciate good things of life. It's something that it's a nice message in a way, and it's not theoretical. It's what you can see by watching, I think, the story of Alduccio and its place. And so, yeah, that's what we are happy. We hope we gave as a message in a way, can impact the audience, maybe.
What other projects are in store for you two?
I say about the TV series, but we have another project with Simone. Simone?
As Flaminia already told you, we are one chance would be one of making a series of special food trucks, not only food trucks. But the other project we are right now working on is a documentary that is telling the story of the relationship between an elderly French jurist, Mireille Delmas-Marty, that while we were working on this documentary was unluckily dead, and an artist called Antonio Beninca. Together, he made a sculpture that turns the thoughts of Mireille into matter, a sculpture that is named The Compass of the Possibilities. And so it's the story of these two people coming from very different fields, because jurists are usually imagined by people like more strict, more with angles. But this lady, she was really special, and she was really powerful, even in her 80s. And when she met this artist, she asked him to make this sculpture for her together with her, and they work together. And it was really inspiring for us, seeing how you can mix things so different. And in a way, even the project about Alduccio was food and art, and now it's law and art. You can mix things and have a very special, interesting, inspiring combination when you put things so different together. And I think that the best comes from mixing, always.
Well, thank you too for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
for guesting us.
Thank you.